Hey, Vanna. ¿Te dejas mi trabajo? No, I mean, I said it'd be 9:30 tonight. Hey, Uncle Buck. Hey, Buffa. Hey, Rara. Don't listen that well. Bear. I don't particularly listen to me either, to be honest. Restarting my computer trying to get it to update things for 4 hours. Always a fun time. Computers are a pain in the ass. Don't even know what I'm doing. YouTube went down for a bit and people were losing their mind. I was unaware because I was repeating the same fucking spiel over and over. Hey, Buttercup. Saying that I thought for sure you had been. No, I mean, I said I was going to be late. I did say it was. Hey, Katie. I did say it would be 11:30 that I'd come on tonight. Hey, Carrie. Yeah, or 9:30. I said I'd start at 9:30 tonight because my shift was 1 to 9. I was working 1 to 9 tonight. Couldn't very well come on at 8 when I was still working at that point. Hey, Rebecca. So I did say I'd be coming on at 9:30. I also said it'd only be an hour. I don't know, judge you off of what other people say about you. Is that something along the lines of he does not deserve privacy? I mean, I think that genuine answer is that I think it is somewhat complicated. I think that they absolutely need to be monitored. They do need to have, even once they've, been released from prison, they do need absolutely to be monitored. I'm generally uncomfortable with honestly, I'm generally uncomfortable with mob rule in general. It's like I'm not entirely comfortable with the idea of like just, hey, Catherine. you know, with them being constantly hounded by regular people. Hey, Frida. Anywho. So how's everyone tonight? Would you like to pick today? They said if we can. What was the picture? When I got my flu and COVID chest today. Hurrah! So my arm is sore and my boots got crushed at times. Very good times. Very fun times indeed, Uncle Buck. Hey, Paws. Nice. I hope you took your Tylenol earlier, since I wasn't here to remind you with my water. You got yourself using a scalping hot knife. You simultaneously cut and cauterize. Well, at least the cauterization is convenient. Grab them as soon as you come live. Came live. Cool, cool. Guys had a rough day. Apparently so. My day was mostly just, repeating the same 20-second speech a million times. Hey, Mike. Hi, April. Fact that I'm a blue number and strawberries isn't. Annie. It's working. Ugh. I did try it, April. I you know, it just feels wrong. Tramp stamp. Nice. Catherine, thank you for 10 gift memberships, Catherine. 10. Woo! Thank you for 10. Congratulations, Net Detective. Nice. Average YT Enjoyer. Cool, cool. Weird Barbie. Number 1 Blue-Eyed Princess. I feel like she used to come around once in a while, but it's been a long time. Heidi Lundquist. Lucy. M2 the J-Dog. Erica, KK, and Joelle Lynn. She said she put people's names on her scooters. Yeah, she did. She did say that she was thinking of doing that. People can donate to have her write their name on her scooter. You never go. Yeah, you and Buttercup, April. Whose name is she going to sit on? Yeah, that one. That one you got to donate a lot. You got to donate a lot to have her sit on you. That, or you need to really piss her off. One or the other. What happened to Sweet Caroline? Good question. She hasn't been around in a while. Maybe she got tired of people making the bot 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 joke. You speaking French? No. Came up a week ago. Was going over. Yeah. Told me she liked her tongue. I know. I was just joking. Catherine, thank you for 5 more, Catherine. 15 total. Woo! Congratulations, Tommy's mom, Fat Kid Cool, Ellie's Vomit Ladle, True Love Has 4 Paws, and Hello Brady 31. I think Fat Kid Cool has popped around once in a while. I know, Buttercup. DJ laptop on the mix. Yeah, I know. Anywho. I am able to do a little bit of webtoon reading during my shift. Sure would be nice if I had more time between calls. Not 10 fucking seconds. It's just, ugh. Like 6 seconds of after call, and then it does take a few seconds for the for it to dial the next number. You gotta do that. I mean, I just put myself in bathroom. I just like change my status. I did do that today. Because, hey, Brooke, put yourself in the bathroom every other call. That I'd get in trouble for. Just line, but bathroom, but you're just getting water. No. But I do use a bathroom break every once in a while. I'll use a bathroom break just for the sake of it. Hey, Net Detective. It's Catherine who, Catherine Ann Summers, you got the membership from. Rice cooker making a sound? Can you sound? Not really. No, it doesn't make a sound. The sound does come and go. What kind of work are you doing? Customer service. Actually, what I'm doing right now, it's mostly like, it's like fundraising. I'm doing fundraising calls right now. You can skip your work after you have to work during the day. I haven't made my rice yet. That's why this stream is only going to be an hour. Is so that I can then make my rice. You know, as it is, I'll be eating around 11:30. I don't really want to be eating at like 12:30 when I have to. Anything on my rice? Sweet and sour sauce. Onion, green pepper, sweet and sour sauce. You know name. If you don't, what is it? Can skipping? It's not. There's tomorrow. Tomorrow is 1 to 9 again. What sucks is tomorrow's 1 to 9. And then Friday is 10 to 6. So it's going to be really fucking weird for that. Like, tomorrow I might get my food cooking before I come live. You know, like once I finish my shift, I might just sort of cut up my vegetables and everything and end up eating, and then just eat on live. Because like eating at 11:30 when I have to go to bed at 1 would just be really weird. Yeah, I fucking hate that. Like, it's just so fucking annoying. You know, finish my shift at 9 and then I have to get up 12 hours later. That does suck. It doesn't really. doesn't actually leave me a whole lot of time for the evening, you know? To do fucking anything. It is not for the pet people I used to work for now. That's a new job. Ugh. I have absolutely not started anything like that, Bofa. The fuck kind of question is that? Genuinely, what the fuck are you getting at here? You know what? Fucking come back tomorrow when you can behave. This is a fucking warning, Bofa. This is a warning right now. 24 hours. You're gone for 24 hours. If you can behave tomorrow, you spread shit like this again, go fuck yourself. I'm fucking banning you if you... Like, honestly, if you try shit like that again, I'm fucking banning you. Fuck you. Sincerely, fuck you, Bofa. Fuck off. Wish there was a way to get, like, he was done. Wish there was. What I need to do is, like, take the back off, clean it out. I wish there was a way to fix it that wouldn't require doing that. Because I'm very lazy. Well, I have, and it doesn't really do anything. Good question. What is the weather like? 6 degrees, so it's actually pretty chilly. Yeah. Hey, Iorna. I have one on, like, I have one on both, like, you know, top and underneath. I have one on underneath as well. What's that in Fahrenheit? I have no idea. Maybe around 40-ish, 50-ish. I think around maybe like 40 or 50. I don't remember. Cranberry ginger. 42. Yeah, I can never remember the way of figuring it out. Can never remember the exact formula. I know it's like double and then add. So, can never remember if it's add 30 or add 40. Times 2, add 30. I will forget that. Let's knock this out. Yeah. Plans for Halloween? I'll be working. No idea like what I'll be working. Like no idea what time I'll be working. But I will be working. Don't suppose this. I assume they wouldn't have. I assume my shift for next week hasn't even been posted. I expect. Nope. It is 10 o'clock. I'm not gonna lie, I do find it very stupid that like I won't know my shift for next week until like Saturday. Or maybe Friday. Like they don't like place just feels like a fucking mess. Magic and Colossus series. I did hear about that. Who's the do we know who the writer is? Because Magic just had a solo series that just ended recently, didn't she? Hey, Maraby. Minimum wage. In Ontario, I think it's 17 an hour. That's an unfortunate event today. I did not. Ashley Allen. I don't know who that is. Jimmy Peralta. Him, I think I have heard of. I don't know that I've ever actually seen. Or maybe broke YouTube today by going to job for an accident. I feel like I have seen Peralta's art. Ooh. Yeah, he seems pretty good. I feel like I might have read something he did, but Generation X23, I'm really excited about. I'm sort of like, can they let Laura get away from that designation? At least the solicit still calls her Wolverine. Like I remember Tom Taylor had that really good run on All New Wolverine. Yeah, the Tom Taylor All New Wolverine. That was a really good run. And it very definitively, it had her very definitively reject X-23 as a as a code name. It was followed up by a series where she went back to being X-23. It's like, what the fuck, Marvel? What the fuck, X-Men editorial? New X-Force. I did see the new X-Force as well. Boom Boom! Gets deep into what I'm talking about. I do. I love Boom Boom. Boom Boom's been like an absolute gem since she debuted. She's just so much fun. I feel like X-Force just... She's actually imagining what up her character. There's been a back and forth. There's Boom Boom. She's one of the X-Men. Her mutant power is to make time bombs. Yeah, I feel like X-Force just somehow never feels complete without her on the team. No, she's white. Did the classic X-Force? I don't think the classic X-Force had any black women on the team. Sunspot's black, so they had a black man. Hey, AP. For black women, Farrell was Latina. Sunspot, black, but he is a black man. And yeah, Warpath, Indigenous man. Danny, Indigenous woman. I think briefly Risk. Source of buried from the beginning. Yeah, I was just trying to remember if any of the women on the team were black. I mean, there it was absolutely a diverse team. Just don't think any of them were. Well, I don't think there were any black girls on the team. At least not back in the day. I suppose in one of the 2010s incarnations, Storm was actually a member. I think at one point in the 2010s. I think it was Uncanny X-Force. I want to say Uncanny X-Force. I think had Storm as a member. Although the main focus of that run was Psylocke. That was a good run. I actually really enjoyed that run. I know Chris Anka did some phenomenal covers. Chris Anka did some phenomenal covers for that one. Guess what my last name is? People love it. Is it Boy Mom? because otherwise I'm not going to guess. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna. I don't want to like dox, you know. Showers. This is at the very beginning. Original remastered X-Men. Hey, MG. People think you're Brad Pitt. I will say, for the X-Men, it's. Guess what your last name is? Schmidt. Anyway, X-Men didn't really get good until Neil Adams joined. Like, it was one of the weakest of the Kirby Lee collaborations. One of the weakest of the books Kirby worked on in the 60s in general. Um, you know, both. Yeah, I just got the impression that, yeah, you read and you get the impression that neither Jack Kirby nor Stan Lee really had particularly strong feelings about the X-Men. And then, they did both leave after like a year. And Roy Thomas was not allowed to do anything interesting. Like Roy Thomas came on and he had some ideas, but he wasn't allowed to do them. Stanley said no. He had to stick with the formula that Kirby and Lee had done, in the school and all that. I had to take pizza home to the turtles. Like he was going to have take them out of the school. He was sort of going to have them travel around, and Lee said no. He had to keep them at the school. Like he couldn't really do much to change the team's makeup and everything. So it's just, and that's why we got the really long and not particularly interesting uh, Factor 3 arc. So yeah, when Neil Adams came on, that changed the energy of the book in a huge way. Because I mean, Neil Adams was just incredible. Like it was the sort of he came on and his art right from the bat was like shit that had never been done at Marvel. Like there was nothing else in Marvel that looked anything like what Adams was doing on X-Men. And that helped to really refresh Thomas's writing as well. I was going to ask my dad's name was Dick. I do want to rewatch the Dick Tracy movie. I keep forgetting that I want to rewatch that Dick Tracy movie. Sadly, by the time Adams came, if Adams had come in a year earlier, it's possible that X-Men would have lasted longer. Time has it changed hands as still story than itself. Yeah. No, nothing. No, nothing. But yeah, if Neil Adams had like joined the book like a year earlier than he did, it might have made a huge difference. It might have kept the book going longer. No, to me, like dropping my laptop, seeing if it helped make a difference. A lot of people have passed away. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't really make much of a difference, unfortunately. So yeah, the 60s X-Men, there's some interesting ideas. There's some interesting elements, but a lot of it is just kind of wasted potential. And a lot of it is just not particularly interesting. Yeah, like the good elements are sort of wasted potential, and a lot of it is just not very good. Just a chance to start over. So yeah, it's just really did take until Cockrum for the X-Men to really catch on with people. First with Giant Size, and then his Claremont Cockrum, which led into Claremont Byrne, which really rejuvenated the X-Men, which really made the X-Men. Hi, Brittany. That was Catherine who gifted you the membership. Last chances. Yeah, I mean there's some weirdness to it, but yeah, I mean it did make a huge difference. It did get people's attention. Ween and Cockrum did really grab a lot of attention with it, and then Claremont and Cockrum were able to build on that, which led into Claremont Byrne, of course. And that helped the X-Men become a huge deal, which continued with all the various other artists that Claremont worked with. Story behind the story, yep. A lot of interesting details behind the X-Men. Fun fact, Claremont had contributed to an X-Men story back in the 60s. There was a very classic X-Men story, very classic Sentinel story. Roy Thomas, I think it was during one of Roy Thomas' run. He couldn't figure out, he couldn't quite, yeah. So it was I believe it was the Thomas Adams run. I think it was the Roy Thomas, Neil Adams run. Roy Thomas couldn't quite figure out sort of how to resolve it. And Chris Claremont had actually suggested that the sun is the source of mutation, of all mutation. So the Sentinels should go fight the sun, which is hilarious. But also made for a great climax. Superman. Conceptually, like I have nothing against Superman. He's a great character. He is a good character and everything. I just don't really deal much with DC. In the shadow of Sauron. Yeah, so yeah, as Chris Claremont had Sauron. Sauron. Wouldn't have been that story now. No, like I said, it was Sentinels. So I've read the comics, Rebecca. So yeah. Chris Claremont had made a comment about sun is source of all mutations. So if the Sentinels want to stop mutants, they'll need to stop the sun. Roy Thomas went, brilliant! I do not. Don't have to dig for that. Meanwhile, a young Kurt Busiek came up with the idea for how Jean Grey could come back after the Dark Phoenix saga. Young Kurt Busiek before he became a big name writer of his own. I believe he was talking to an editor. Not even the X-Men editor, just a different editor. But he was talking to one of the editors at Marvel. And pitched the idea. Do you have a crush on Kurt Busiek? Hey, Puzzle Snatcher. I don't, but I mean, I appreciate him as a writer. He's a phenomenal writer. And yeah, Kurt Busiek came up with the pitched the idea. Hey, it's maybe she was replaced by the Phoenix Force. Stanley Kubrick? Not really. I'll be honest, I don't really enjoy Kubrick's movies. Phenomenal cinematographer. Magnificent eye for beautiful shots. I don't much like him as a storyteller. You sure stayed on her and Madeline. Jean's great, and Madeline's great. Jean and Madeline are both great. I feel like the one issue with Jean's return, just drinking water, is editors always seem to want things to be the way they used to be. This is how the comics were when I was reading them. And that's the proper way for them to be. So Jean's return was used as a way of breaking up Scott and Madeline. And getting rid of Scott's happy ending. As a way of undoing Scott's happy ending. Nostalgia is a heavy influence on most artists. It is, but it does seem to be. I do feel like comic book editors, in particular, it's often it does end up being a major handicap. Like one of the biggest examples of that, One More Day in Spider-Man. One More Day happened because editorial, not even the writers have been making great use of the Spider-Man Mary Jane marriage for 20 years at that point. Writers were able to make fantastic use of it, but editorial hated it. Editorial wanted the Spider-Man they grew up on, the swinging single Spider-Man. They wanted their young, cool, swinging single, unmarried Spider-Man. So they came up with a really stupid story to get that. And the reality is, fans did not want that. Green Goblin, played by Willem Dafoe, is phenomenal. Yeah, Willem Dafoe is just always fun, always good. And like, there's a lot of people who feel like Spider-Man as a franchise, like as a character, as a comic book line, has never really recovered from that. And it happened because editorial wanted the shit they wanted shit they grew up on. Better than a lot of ways for a long time, Spider-Man. A complaint I've seen about current X-Men as well is that there's a certain regressive aspect to it. Young Krakoa was a major status quo shift. And now, no, we need to go back to mutants are hated and feared. Which has felt played out for a very long time. And it's not the first time that they've done this shit. End Day, Decimation, was same reason. Editorial didn't like that there were so many mutants running around. They wanted it back to the way that they remember from kids, when mutants were rare and hidden. They wanted to go back to the not many mutants. Thus, get rid of all but 200 of them. And have them on the verge of extinction and hated and feared and all that shit. So yeah. Nostalgia on the part of editorial does bother me. Because it's there to prevent characters from genuinely progressing. Or Tobey Maguire might come back to Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield certainly seems to not be. Andrew Garfield made a pretty definitive denial. Anyway, I'm actually going to get going. Andrew Garfield wasn't as big. Believe it or not, he actually was a better Peter Parker. than Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire was. Can I talk about ballet? I'm going to be leaving in a minute, so. Because when you read old Spider-Man comics, like when you read the 60s Spider-Man comics, when he was in high school, he was an asshole. Early Peter Parker was legitimately kind of an asshole. It took him time. It took him time to grow out of that. And he's always had a bit of an asshole side to him at times, but it took him a long time to really grow out of the anger and resentment. Like that's what it was key. He had a lot of anger and resentment towards people, towards the world. That was dropped from Tobey Maguire. Honestly, it didn't show up in what's his name either. Andrew Garfield actually brought that. He brought the asshole side. He brought that side part of Peter Parker. Anyway, I'm gonna get going. I'm hungry. I'm gonna get started on cooking my supper. So, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.